All right, so just a warning, I'm gonna stir some people up, and those of you who know me know that I do care, or I wouldn't be making these videos. Like, I want people to really think about how we're going about our lives, and some of the things that we've been led to do that aren't right. Let's reflect on those. Let's correct our trajectory. Obviously, the way that we've been doing things is not working, and so we've got to make some significant changes. Now, I say that, and I do care, as I said, but I also care as little as humanly possible if people are to get upset because I say something that really strikes them and reaches down to their core, and I ask people to reflect on why you're so stirred up by those words whenever the things that I'm saying are true. And so here we go. Folks, quit lying to your kids about Santa Claus being a real thing. One of the 10 commandments is don't bear false witness. Okay? The psychological impact of that with these young people is detrimental. There is no way around it. I have a sister that told me that when she found out the truth about Santa Claus not being real, it was devastating to her. Okay, so I want you to think about what you're doing when you lie to your kids about Santa Claus. So first off, the reason why we celebrate Christmas in the first place is to celebrate the birth of Jesus. And I understand that Jesus was most likely not born on December the 25th, but that's when we celebrate it. The energy and essence of the holiday and why it is celebrated is the birth of Christ. So we've lost the actual birth date to history, okay? It's not like when he was born that he was royalty, okay? He was, but he wasn't royalty in the worldly sense, okay? And so it wasn't kept track of. There's a lot of things that's been lost to history, but there's a lot of things that haven't been lost to history, and we recognize that Jesus is so important that the date's set on his birth. And I'm not going to go into all the historical documentation in this video because I want to keep this decently concise and make the main point of quit lying to your kids about Santa Claus. Okay, you're telling them that a man is flying around in a sleigh with reindeer, and that there's magic and all of this type of stuff that's associated with it. Then you're bursting their bubble. So you're stealing the essence of the holiday away from the real reason why we celebrate it, okay? You're not giving Jesus the emphasis that he deserves. Does Jesus need to share with fiction on that day? Look at our society. People aren't following God's instructions. People don't respect God's standard, okay? You got a whole bunch of kids that's been lied to till they were 8, 9, 10, 11, some of them probably 12 years old, still believing that Santa Claus is flying around on a sleigh and bringing presents to everybody in the world on one day, okay? And then you're telling them, oh, well, we lied to you, but we want you to be honest with us as you grow up in your life. We want you to tell us the truth, but we lied to you about something that's major. I mean, what holiday is more important to a young person than Christmas and getting the gifts, okay? And I've had to talk to my wife about this. Hey, if Jesus only got 3 gifts for Christmas, that's all we need to give each one of our kids. We need to keep sight of the most important gift ever given to humanity was Jesus Christ, okay? And when you are telling these kids that Santa Claus is a real thing, and then you burst their bubble, then it distorts their perception of reality to the point where they start questioning the legitimacy of Jesus. There's no way around it. When you're pumping them full of the fairy tale and all of the hormone releases and all of that, how all that plays out in their young minds, and then that bubble gets bursted, then it decreases their trust in their parents. It really throws their world for a loop, and we take that for granted, I guess. We don't give that the power that it has. We want to downplay it and act like it's not real. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it is real. Okay, and Saint Nicholas was a real person. Okay, he lived in like the late 200s, early 300s, and he's a saint for a reason. He is known of doing great things, that he was very kind and he was very generous, and that he performed miracles for the poor. But he was a follower of Jesus Christ. Okay, Saint Nicholas doesn't exist without Jesus. Okay, he was who he was and did the things that he did because he gave God glory and reverence and honor in how he lived his life. Okay, now we can talk. We can talk to young people about that, because truth of the matter is that we need to give young people examples of people who followed Christ. But most people who are talking about, oh, Santa Claus is going to bring you some presents and blah, blah, you're lying to them. You're distorting their perception of reality. You're setting them up for disappointment, and you're setting them up to question the reality of Jesus Christ and the energy and essence of the holiday. You're not supposed to bear false witness, especially to your children. Man, a lot coming down the road. I had a whole flock of guineas running at me. I about hit them, but they were running right at my tires. Dumb birds. I've heard guineas was dumb. Man, that's, woo, dumb guineas. Anyway, hey, quit lying to your kids. Tell them the truth. I'm not trying to make people get all ticked off and get the feelings hurt too bad. Okay, but sometimes somebody's got to stir some things up within their society to get the soil to where the seed can be planted. Okay, and I hope to see a harvest of this resulting in more people following God's instructions. And ain't none of us perfect in it, but just because I can't be perfect doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. Just because I can't get all the way to where I want to be right now doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. Okay, just because we're tainted and we're manipulated and we're unable to fully live up to what is available to us doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. Okay, and if we don't make changes, we're gonna see this degradation just keep on going. And by the time that our kids get to be our age, we're not gonna recognize the world that we live in. We've got to make changes. We've got to get people's focus shifted to the foundation of reality that God has provided us through His Word and through the model that is Jesus Christ, so that we can move forward if we ever want to progress in a meaningful way to a new golden era where the things that we know today can be merged with the reality of God's Word, and we can reach new heights as society is able to do. But we can't go on doing things the way that we've been doing things. God bless.